God started the formation of the world with a word. In the beginning, God said, let there be light, and there was light. God also said that as his children, if we got faith the size of a mustard seed, we can speak to mountains in our life and cause these mountains to move.
I think that every once in a while, we have to think about what we really are doing. Life is not just you go to bed at night, you get up in the morning, and whatever happens through the course of the day, it's okay. Amen. Our lesson today is entitled, What Works Will You Lay at the Master's Feet? Amen. You know, the Bible warns us that our works will follow us. Amen. It's not like you're going to turn around and look behind you and go, where are you going? Why are you following up behind me? No, the thing that you know, the thing that you do are going to be what you're known for. And when you get to heaven, you're going to have something for the master. Amen. If you're at home, my watch says 11:38. Give me 20 minutes and we'll be finished. Amen. That's before 12. Amen. Amen. Because I know we have other things to do, so we're going to get right to the point this morning. Again, I'm going to say this to you. Facebook, you know I'm always happy that you joined us. And I've been noticing something about Facebook too. Our numbers are going up and up and up. People are watching this old country preacher. Hold on. You got to dress up when you know people watching you. People watching you out there. You got to be presentable, bro. You know what I'm talking about. Amen. You got to be presentable. Before we get into our lesson, there was something that I placed in our order service that I want to read to us. Keep in mind that our lesson today is entitled, What Works Will You Lay at the Master's Feet? And we're coming out of Luke 12:40-43. For those who are faithful who may not be able to read this. Luke 12 and verse number 40-43. But I want to read something to you. There's a couple of things on our inner service, on our order service. One of it is called inner peace. Because the older I get, the more peace I'm looking for. Amen. Amen. I just can't fight all those fights that I used to go and fight when I was young. Amen. You know, when you're young, you're real aggressive. Amen. You know, can't nobody say nothing to you that you don't like. You'll get what? But as you're older, you get folks say to you something you don't like, you do this. But you want to sit back and say, hey, you ain't got time for all of that. You're looking for peace. You cannot control, this is called, it's entitled inner peace. You cannot control what they do, but you can control how you react. Your inner peace cannot be destroyed by the behavior of others. No one has that much power over you. Your inner peace can only be disturbed by how you react. Your reaction to other people has more of an impact on your inner peace than their behavior. It ain't what they did, it's how we react to it. Amen. If I know somebody gonna run my pressure up every time on stuff they do, I'm gonna get to the point where I don't have to take my blood pressure pill, because I ain't gonna keep on letting them get a reaction out of me. Amen. Amen. One last thing is on our order service also. It says, tips to get into spiritual shape. Tips to get into spiritual shape. 1, lift the cross. You know, when we get in shape, we have to lift weight. Lift the cross. Carry your own cross. Number 2, walk in the spirit. Galatians 5:16-17 reminds us of that. Number 3, because we're getting in shape now, you got to do some jumping, jump ropes. Amen. Jump for joy. That's one of the things I want us to continue to remember here as Christians too. But Christians, I think sometimes we get to the point of where we think that we always got to be doom and gloom and everybody talking about going to HE hockey stick. No, jump for joy. I know the Lord bless you with something we talked about this morning. Be thankful. Don't be an ingrate. Number 4, run your race. That's the part we're going to talk about up here today. Run. People don't need you to run a race for them. You don't need people to run a race for you. And number 5, rest. You know it's important, if you're going to get in shape, that you rest properly too. Amen? Amen? Now for our lesson today, what works will you lay at the master's feet. The Lord said, who then is that faithful and wise steward, whom his Lord shall make ruler over his household, to give them their portion of meat in due season? Blessed is that servant whom the Lord, whom his Lord, when he cometh, shall find doing when he comes. You hear preachers all the time tell you can't work your way to heaven. You can't work your way to heaven. Heaven is a gracious thing the Lord gives to you, right? Something else you don't want to do is not be found working when the Lord comes. You can't work your way to heaven, but you sure ain't going to heaven without any works. The parable teaches the lesson of waiting instead of working. Blessed is whom the Lord shall find doing that. Blessed is he who the Lord will find doing what he's supposed to do and waiting on him. Waiting instead of working. But we should work like the Lord is coming tomorrow. I know I do. Amen. I work like the Lord coming. I don't care about. Growing up, you hear this all the time as Christians. You're a young Christian. When you do things for people that other young Christians don't think you ought to do, they call me crazy so many times. You're so crazy. I saw you down there chopping all that wood for that lady. I know you got some money. No, ain't take no money from her. You crazy. They didn't know at the time I couldn't take no money from her because I would get a whooping if I did. But I learned a lesson. You have to learn how to do some work and not get paid for it. Amen. My payment is upstairs. Yes, sir. I'll be crazy, stupid, and anything else they want to call me down here. I don't care about being called crazy. Do you know how many times in this life I've been, personally, been called crazy? Crazy was my first name in elementary school. We become Crazy Stanley. My first name was Crazy. That don't bother me that people call me crazy when they see me doing things for people that they wouldn't do. Amen. I think they're crazy. Amen. What will you lay at the master's feet when you meet him? What works will follow you? We're always feeding into evil and deceitful desires. We will only have evil and deceitful desires to lay at the master's feet. Amen. He's coming back, you know. Luke 12:46, the Lord of that servant will come in a day. He's coming back. Here's a question. And it's a simple one. Are you a believer or not? Do you believe he's coming back? Yes. If you believe he's coming back, you'll work like your preacher working. Amen. Like he's coming tomorrow. Amen. Do you think the Lord, I don't care how old you are, you ain't trying to waste those years you live and then die and go to H.E.W. hockey stick. I know I'm not. The older I get, the more closer I get to God because I ain't trying to look back and look out. I don't waste all these 40-some years. Y'all catch that? I done waste all these 40-some years, 40 plus. Yeah, that's for you folks out there that think you know my birthday. Waste all these 40 plus years and then a week before I die, I'm gone up before the Lord. I ain't got nothing to show but evil, ingrate, selfishness, mind. You know how we are. You know what the Lord gonna tell you though. All that stuff that you claim, we don't keep it up here. That's down there. I see you. If you are a believer, we have a tendency to let things slip sometimes. We talked about that a little bit this morning. We say, you know, when we ain't ready to, you know, do the type of stuff that we know is going, the Lord is going to be proud of us when we lay at his feet. We ain't ready to do that. We'll say, well, you know, that preacher down there been talking about the Lord been coming for 30 years. Lord ain't made it here yet. Tonight, I'm going to do my thing. And in the morning, I'll get right. Amen. I got a story I'm going to tell you one day. And you're going to realize in the morning it may be too late. Amen. 2 Corinthians 5:10 says, for we must all appear before the judgment seat of Christ, that everyone may receive the thing done in his body according to that which he has done, whether it be good or bad. You are going to have to appear. What are you going to lay at his feet? You know how we do sometimes. You know, we at work sometimes and supervisor tells us there's certain things he wants us to get done and we don't do it. We half do it. And then when the supervisor come along, we say, you know, I want to finish that butt raw. Well, you ain't going to have no butt. Because when it's over, it's going to be over. When my time comes, and I don't know when that might be, I want to be doing the kinds of work that I can lay at the master's feet. And he can look at me and say, well done, my good and faithful servant. I ain't trying to hear him say anything else. You can call me a fool all you want to. You can call me crazy. You can call me stupid. You can call me anything you want to. There's a guy that used to tell me all the time, you call me anything you want to until you put some money on this. You ain't going to tell me what I need to be doing for me and my Lord. I'll be crazy for you now. I ain't got time to be playing no Russian roulette with this soul I got. I have one soul. I ain't got time. They said, no, this is no game. I think sometimes we think this is a game we're playing out here. I see people on television. I see some young folks on. I saw a minister this morning being robbed by an adolescent, about 17 years old. Pulled up to the man in his little, it just happened like this weekend, amen. Pulled up to the man in his Audi, told me, get out of here. The man had his door, he got out, but when he got out, he ran into the young man. Grabbed the gun from him, pancaked him on the ground, and held him down and said these words to him. I'm a minister. I have a wife and children at home. If you leave now, I won't press charges. While holding him down, they took the gun from him. Let the young boy up. The young boy got up. Y'all gonna see it on TV because Channel 13 plays stuff all the time. The boy got up and got in the car and took off. They called him 2 hours later. Now he got time to do it. My point is all this is this. Folks ain't even got sense enough to know when they've been given an opportunity. Life is no Russian roulette. Suppose there had not been a minister and he wrestled him down. And he's scared, be like my mother-in-law. She said, I'm scared for her. When she said I'm scared for her life, you better get away from around her. But she's going to do something to you. Suppose the man that said, I shot him because I was scared for my life. It's all on the thing. Oh, he shot and killed the boy. This is no game. Children today think that shooting bullets is like cowboys and Indians. Shooting blank. Bing, bing, pow, pow. Look at that. One of them hit you, you're going to be dead. That's all. Dead. It ain't going to be no, he got me in the shoulder. Somebody boils some hot water like they do on TV. No, you're going to be dead. This ain't no game. You quit playing with people. Even preachers have tolerance. If you believe in heaven, or if you believe in H-E double hockey stick, you know that you won't have time to play. You know that you need to be getting something gathered together so when you see the Lord, you'll have something to lay before Him. Question. What thought do you have for someone you don't like right now? Amen. Preacher, what did you ask me that for? Right now. At this moment. For somebody you don't like, what is that thought? Have you put something in place to trip them up? Are you thinking about ways down the line where you can make them look bad? Well, I got a little story I'm going to read for you. It's called Foolish Monkeys. By the end of it, I hope you realize that any kind of work is not worthy to be laid at the master's feet. It was a cold and silent night. Let me come down because I see y'all watching the clock. He said, child, don't look like he's supposed to have about 5 more minutes. If he said what he said is true, he got about 5 more minutes, child. Bring me that watch over there, let me look at it. It was a cold and silent night. The weather was cold. A group of monkeys was on the tree. They were clinging to its branches. One of the monkeys said, I wish I could find some fire that'll keep us warm. And suddenly, they noticed a flock of fireflies. One of the monkeys mistook it for fire. So he grabbed the firefly He put it on a dry leaf and started blowing on it. Some of the other monkeys joined in the effort, blowing on the firefly. Meanwhile, a sparrow came flying to his nest on the same tree the monkeys were sitting on. The sparrow noticed what they were doing. The sparrow laughed and said, "You silly monkeys. That is a firefly, not real fire." She said, and he said, "I think all of you should take shelter in a cave." The monkeys didn't listen to the sparrow. They continued to blow on the poor firefly. And after some time, the monkeys became very tired and realized that what the sparrow had said was correct. They set the firefly free and moved to a nearby cave. Here's the moral of the story. While persistence is one of the most defining qualities of a good student, there's always something new to be learned every day.
Amen.
The monkeys were real persistent about blowing on that firefly, but they wasn't going to get no fire started until the sparrow came along and told them something. But here's the thing. You got to be willing to hear.
Amen.
What works are you going to be able to lay at the master's feet? Are they going to be works that you learned along the way because you allow somebody to tell you something? Or are they going to be works that you refuse to do because you felt a certain way about somebody? And no matter what they did or what they said, you still going to remain feeling the same way. Why you say that, Pastor? Because at some point, I don't care how bad somebody treats you, before you leave this earth, you better learn to forgive them. Because when you get before the Lord, what you're going to lay before his feet is unforgiveness. Wait a minute, let me check your portfolio. You did all of this. You did this when you didn't even have to. And Lord, no, I wasn't even looking for you to do this, and you did it just out of jealousy. But this over here, you couldn't forgive? You did all this before. But here's one person you couldn't forgive. You're going to lay it at his feet, and you're going to hear him say one of my favorite verses. If you are guilty of one, guilty of all. Learn to forgive. I don't. Please understand your preacher when he say, there are some things that some people can do to us that's almost unforgivable. Did you hear me say almost? There are some things that some people can do to you that you wouldn't forgive them unless it kept you out of heaven. That's the part I want you to understand. Don't let your unforgiving of a wrong somebody did to you keep you out of heaven. After all these years, you've done stuff trying to get there. God is able to take care of whatever is going on in your life. You don't have to be the person to get back at folk that do something to you anyway. We need, as Christians, we need to be about doing what is good. Because when I get to heaven, I don't want anything keeping me out those gates. I'm trying to go to heaven. That's why I do what I do. And that's why sometimes when people look at what I do, they call me foolish. Because they wouldn't do it. I do it because I want to send up what it's going to take for me to hear the Lord say, welcome, come on in. Amen. I ain't trying to let nobody keep me out of heaven. I'm going to lay at his feet kindness, regardless of how they treat me. I'm going to lay at his feet forgiveness, regardless if they never forgive me. I'm going to lay at the master's feet love, regardless of they never show me any love. I'm going to put at his feet caring if I never felt like they ever cared for me. Y'all ain't hearing me? This is about my journey. This is about what I would have to show for my life. This ain't got nothing to do with nobody else, because we leave it up to other people, we're going to stay mad. I see you now coming into work. How you doing this morning? Coming in the church. Hey, brother Stanley, how you doing? Going to the house. Baby, did you have a good day at work today? Stay mad. People gonna come, here come that madman. And I get to heaven and all of them gonna have a leg that bounce their feet is mad. Oh, I've been waiting on you. So have they. Hello? I ain't trying to go that way. Learn to forgive. Learn to love. Learn to care in spite of what somebody do to you.
Amen.
I have one soul. I don't want it to spend eternity in a place that I know I'm not going to be comfortable.
Amen.
It's summertime. You know anybody without an air conditioner? If you do, you know they're uncomfortable. If you're going to be willing to lay some stuff at the Lord's feet, you got to start by being comfortable with doing what you know is right. If you're not in the Lord, you need to get in the Lord. You come by way of hearing His word, believing that He is the Son of the living God, repenting of our sin, you know, the stuff that we know we do, confessing our fault one to another. Yeah, I'm guilty of that, but I'm going to work on it. Amen?
Amen.
And be willing to go down in the water, wash away the sins we're aware of, leaning on the Lord to help us to get through the rest of our life without sin. Amen?
Amen.
I'm going to, in a few minutes, I'm going to leave an opportunity for anyone who wants to stand and ask the Lord for any prayer, ask us to pray for you, or with the Lord, or to anyone that want to talk to us about anything that may be going on in their life and they need the Lord to pray for. But before we get ready, we need us to pray to the Lord for them. But before we go, I like to say always to our visiting hubby, I like to refer to you all as our Facebook church. Thank you all so much for giving us the time you do. And as I always say before we sign out, be good to yourself and be good to